Hello, welcome to my first Dominion 6 Mod Nation showcase. In this video I'm gonna take a look at Middle Age Erathia Restored Kingdom. This is a nation made by me, based on the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Castle faction. And I already did some of these videos for Dominions 5, but this Dominion 6 things work differently now. So it's worth to reiterate some stuff. So first let's take a look at the unit roster. Let's do it in this order. Your basic troops are the pikemen. They have pikes, they have plate cuirass, which is, I guess, decent protection for middle age. And they have formation fighter. Formation fighter works differently in Dominion 6. So they have formation fighter too. This does not mean that there can be 10 pikemen in a square. No, only 4. It's still a good ability. Slightly upgraded, we have halberdiers, who use halberds instead of pikes. Halberds are slightly shorter, but they deal more damage and also can deal slashing damage instead of only piercing. The swordsman is just, I don't know what to say here. It's just a swordsman, some light armor, sword and a shield. As you can see, many of the troops here are not very interesting. Crusader. Crusader, on the other hand, rocks full plate armor, which is not very usual for middle age. Also, you may notice that this is not a broadsword but a crusader sword. It strikes twice, just like in Heroes of Might and Magic 3. It even uses the same sound effect. I had to rip those. They are quite expensive, however. Archers are just normal archers, basically the same thing the independents have. And marksmen, they are crossbowmen this time. Well, I mean, even the archers in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 are actually crossbowmen. So I made them different. Having access to crossbows is pretty good. Next up we have the cavalry, the cavalier. Cavalry works different in Dominion 6. Now we have two units, the rider and the mount. This one uses a standard mount from Dominions. I think that's a horse from TNG. It has a light lance, it is a skilled rider. It also has full plate armor, which is good. So he's likely to survive if thrown off the horse. Also, you may notice that the cavalry became much more expensive in the Dominion 6. Griffins. The normal griffin is a size 6 beast. It flies, it has 3 attacks, but only 1 griffin fits per square, so that's 3 attacks per square. It has wasteland survival because you remember griffins inhabit in Bracada, and that's a desert mostly. Mountain survival because there are mountains both in Bracada and Erathia. And it's an animal. Unlike normal animals, it has high magic resistance, which is good. Strength is high, defense is not very high. I would say it's low. And then, slightly upgraded, we have hunting griffins. They are green. They are 10 golds more expensive. They have patrol bonus and berserk. So if you want to try them out, give them a shot. But keep in mind that they have low protection. They have no barding. Yes, now mounts can have bardings in this game. Let's take a look at the commanders. The spy is, well, just a normal spy, nothing special. Erathian commander is basically an indie commander with a different skin, and the champion. The champion is actually a bit more different. You could see that the cavalier had a light lance, but the champion has a normal lance and a broadsword. Still has full plate armor, and instead of a normal shield, it has a kite shield. And the horse is different. This horse has a plate barding, so the champions are very good commanders that are very tough. Next up we have the Griffin Tamer. These are your flying commanders with light lances. They are intended for you to lead the Griffins and Hunting Griffins parties. However, you might notice that they have leadership 10, so you cannot fly entire flocks of Griffins. You can only bring a few. That's intentional, because I didn't want this nation to become Kelom. Then we have the priest. The monk is a simple H1 priest, nothing special. Then we have the initiate. It's a Holy 2, Astral 1 priest. And the capital only, Holy 3, Astral 3, Inquisitor priest that starts with Old Age. This nation has some spells that have been moved to Holy Path to represent the the magic of the self from Might and Magic games. That is magic of the body, mind, and spirit. And I will show them off a bit later. So these priests, they can cast them. Then we have the normal mages. This is a novice elementalist who just gets one random elemental path, but is very cheap. And the normal elementalist who starts out old but has one in every elemental path, one guaranteed random and one rare random. Then we have the zealots. Zealots are your battle mages. They have air magic 2 and holy 1. And the war zealots are your slow to recruit capital only battle mages with fire 2, air 2, astral 1 and a guaranteed random and well, half guaranteed random. However, they are old, and their magic resistance could have been higher, I think. There is someone I missed, the Sacred, Initiate of the Sword. Your Sacred is not very interesting. The interesting thing is that it has full plate armor and a great sword, so it's hard to damage and it hits hard. And the Sacred version of the Commander version of the Sacred is a Champion of the Sword. It has Holy One and Inspirational. And I think it can only be recruited in the capital. The capital gives you 1 Astral Pearl per turn, 2 Air and Fire Gems per turn, and that's it. And let me make a cut and I will show off the summons. Alright, here we have the summons and some units that are spawned by the events. First up, we have the Angels and the Angel Lord. They are summoned by the same spell, Portal of Glory. That's a Conjuration 6, Fire 2, Air 3 spell that costs 35 gems. It summons 1 Angel Lord and 8 Angels. Angel Lord is a Holy 3 commander with Awe 5, Invulnerable 20, Shock, Fire Resistance, it's a magic being, it's obviously a flyer, and it is inspirational. It has plate armor in case it's fighting against somebody with magic weapons, and it has a unique weapon, Angelic Sword. It deals double damage against demons, and on hit also adds a fire effect, and it uses the angel attack sound from Heroes of Might and Magic 3. As you can see, the skills are relatively high, magic resistance is very high, it's a size 4 creature with 40 hit points. Overall, it's also a very good leader. The angels, they are slightly weaker than the Angel Lord. They do not have any armor at all, including the shields, nothing. They have the same arrangement of abilities, but while the Angel Lord was inspirational because it's a commander, the angels have standard. So you can put an angel in a squad to increase the morale. And they also have the same angelic swords. Then we have Greater Portal of Glory on Conjuration 7. It's a Fire 3 Air 3 spell that costs 70 gems. It summons a Supreme Archangel and 8 Archangels. Basically, they are just better. The Supreme Archangel also has an Angelic Sword, but he has much better stats. As you can see, it's size 5, 60 hit points, 18 strength, 15 attack, 20 defense. But it has no armor. At least there's still a shield. They are Fire 3 Holy 3 mages, they are sacred, have 6 invulnerable 25. Shock and fire resistance, magic beam, flying, recuperation, healer. Yes, they can heal afflictions, and inspiration +2. The normal archangels have the same gear, similar stats, but they have standard too, and no healer. They just can heal themselves, recuperation. Okay, then we have heroism. Thaumaturgy 5 spell that requires Astral 2, Holy 3, so it's cast by your priests. And for 20 gems you can get the following commander, the Master of the Sword. He starts out old. That was not intended. I'll decrease the age, because that's a mistake. That's a bug. And they have inspiration +2, they have full plate armor, and they wield great swords of sharpness, dealing tremendous amounts of damage. And their skills are decent. And of course they have magic resistance 18, so they can be used as thugs. Next up we have a Thaumaturgy 2 spell called Call for Recruits. It also requires Astral 2, Holy 3, and for 5 gems you can summon 8 plus Ardent Crusaders. Basically they are the same Crusaders with slightly lower skills, I think, and they have no upkeep because they are summons. In Construction 4 you have the Forge Barding spell that requires Earth 2 and 12 gems. For 12 gems you can summon 5 plus Battle Griffins. These are griffins with plate bardings, and they also have no upkeep. They are very good, I think. Then you also have a global enchantment, an enchantment 6 called Call the Crusade. It requires Astral 5 to cast. There is a 20% chance that a province will spawn 3d6 Ardent Crusaders, and a 10% chance that a province will spawn 2d6 Battle Griffins. So it's a free spawn global enchantment. Isn't that cool? And now let's take a look at the other spells that we've got. I mentioned that we have some spells that were swapped to the Holy Path. By the way, where is this Holy Crusaders? Holy Crusades. Ah, sorry, I sent the enchantment 6, but it's actually Thaumaturgy 6. And it costs 40 gems. Then we have new spells for these schools. Alteration. Yeah, at Holy One, we've got the Hammer Hands. Basically, these spells are copies of other spells. This Fists of Iron just switched to this path. Poison resistance. That's poison resistance for you. Might. Might is strength of giants. Lightning reflexes. That's quicken self in Holy. And I think we have something else in Thaumaturgy. Turn undead. That's dust to dust as a Holy One spell. So your priests get some good get some good use out of it. Cause fear is just frighten. Sensory override is fascination. Misfortune is what is misfortune? It's just curse. That's a Holy 2 Astral 1 spell. And finally, I think that's the last one, Spiritual Animation. It's a Holy 3 combat spell, and that's a copy of Raise Dead. It's just summon soulless, so you can actually get some undead. Alright. Next up, I forgot to show you these two units. The Bowman is just a longbowman, and the Elite Archer is a longbowman with shock resistance and Air Magic 3. There is a random event that can give you an Elite Archer and some Bowmen. For free, of course. So the only thing that we have left are the heroes and pretenders, so give me a moment, I'll show you the heroes. Alright, and here are the heroes. After all, this is a mod based on Heroes of Might and Magic. So first up, we have the Dragon Slayer, Charles Quixote. He has a unique weapon that deals magic damage, it's armor piercing, it's Ebonest, an artifact from Might and Magic 8. And this character could be found in Might and Magic 7 and Might and Magic 8 as well. As he is just a Dragon Slayer. He has all the elemental resistances aside from acid resistance, because that's finally a thing in Dominion 6. And Inspirational 1. He also has a retinue of 5 Dragon Hunters. Dragon Hunters are these great swordsmen with Formation Fighter 2 and also the same elemental resistances. Next up we have Catherine Iron Fist. She is not a very good hero, to be honest. She has a castle defense bonus, inspirational, she's a skilled rider, but other than that, well, can't really do much. She's just more or less a basic commander. Then we have Roland Iron Fist. Now he is very good. He is mounted, he has all the armor that you can imagine. He has Fire 2, Air 2, Astral 3, and even Death Magic 1. He is, however, old and is a skilled rider. Because he is this strong, this is a late hero. He cannot arrive before turn 10. And we have the Alchemist Knight, another late hero that cannot arrive before turn 10. Christian, Fire 2, Earth 2, Nature 2, with Siege bonus because you remember Ballista is his specialty. Supply bonus from Nature Magic, Tax Collector, Gold Maker because he's an alchemist. And he is riding a steppe horse. And that's all the heroes. So let's take a look at the pretenders. We have a decent roster with some unique national pretenders. Let's start from the bottom. We have the three Grandmasters of the Path of Self, so mind, spirit, and body. The Grandmaster of Body has 5 attacks, Stone Fist and 4 tentacles. Starts with Nature 1, Blood 1, and he is an Adept Crossbreeder and has Ambidextrous. Also quite high HP for his size. Grandmaster of Spirit has a normal quarterstaff, fewer hit points, Astral 1, Death 1. He is invisible completely, but he has Spirit form, so some spells cannot be placed on him. And since he is a spiritual being, he has Spirit side. Finally, the Grandmaster of Mind has Astral 2, Void Sanity, and Innate Spellcaster 1, so he casts 2 spells per turn. So they're quite interesting, I think. In the monster category, we have the Paragon of Erathia, this purple swordsman with a retinue of 5 crusaders. He has 2 enchanted swords that deal a lot of damage, and skills of the Paragon. So he can strike the eyes and cause eye loss, and strike the heart and just kill somebody outright. So this is a thug pretender, even though he's quite small. He has some dexterity, but he has, as all the monsters do in Dominion 6, Inept Smith and Inept Researcher. He also has Inspirational too. Then we have the Angelic Avenger, an angel pretender. He has Black Steel Plate and an Avenger Sword that deals double damage against demons and an additional fire. That's a Fire 1 Air 2 pretender with Awe, Invulnerable, Shock, Fire Resistance. It's a magic being with Flying, Patrol bonus, Spirit Sight, Inept Smith Researcher, and Combat Caster. Then we have the Imperial Griffin. Huge purple griffin with Fire 1 Air 1, Awe 3, Fire Resistance, Flying, Mountain Survival, Siege bonus, Recuperation, Patrol bonus, Inept Smith, and Inept Researcher. Only has 2 attacks, but they are magic weapons. Overall, I think that's not a very good pretender, but maybe someone can make it work. Then we have the 4 emissaries. The Emissary of Peace has a lightning attack. It's a Air 1, Water 2 Titan with shock resistance, cold resistance, poison resistance, magic being, resource bonus 50, reduces unrest by 10, and it spreads growth. Emissary of War is another Titan that has Fire 2, Earth 1, Fire resistance, poison resistance, magic being, reinvigoration 2, and ambidextrous 4. Emissary of Mana is this weird face thing. The sprite was taken from well, the sprite and entire concept of these four emissaries from the mod in the Wake of Gods for Heroes of Might and Magic 3. That was a very questionable mod. Wait, what's that? Snake ring? Was it always here? I do not remember this. Let me very quickly take a look. That's the emissary of mana, right? Yes? I think that was supposed to be something else. Give me a moment. Alright, now it's fixed. That was supposed to be the Eye of the Void. That gives you more penetration, decreases your magic resistance, gives you spirit side, and it horror marks you. Well, I found at least 2 bugs while recording this video. So now, the Emissary of Mana is an Air 1 Astral 2 Pretender, is poison immunity basically, magic being, it's ethereal, floating, it has spirit form, spirit side, far caster, combat caster, and it only has one eye. It has a mind blast with a fatigue cost, that's a new thing, and a magic bite. You can see it still has a mouth. And the Emissary of Lore is another similar thing that does not start with an item. By the way, they have 4 miscellaneous slots. This is a strictly Astral one. It has Astral 2, Poison Immunity, Magic Being, Ethereal Floating Spirit Form, Inspiring Researcher, Adept Researcher, and Magic Power. It also has a Magical Bite and a Mind Blast. Oh, by the way, it also has a decreased new magic path cost, the only 30 compared to 60 that is normal for such pretenders. So that's all for Erathia, and I am planning to cover at least, well, ideally I would like to cover all my mods, but there are so many of them. But I will definitely cover all the Heroes of Might and Magic ports, and right now I'm working on mods based on the more modern Heroes of Might and Magic games, that is 5, 6 and 7. I haven't even played some of them, but there is a lot of content to be able to make different mods that feel and play differently from these nations. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.